all go through times when we don't understand something and we need clarity, just a little help on the subject. We need to understand it better. Giving you some subjects. Like if you were in elementary school or high school and you're doing a science project and it was on volcanoes, you'd want to understand it. You'd want to have clarity. You want to know how it worked and everything. Flying an airplane. I've never flown one, but if I was going to fly an airplane, I'd want to know how it flew. That's what you'd want to know. You just want to understand it. Like you guys driving trucks out there. Man, for you, it comes natural because you've been doing it for so long. But for somebody like me that has no clue whatsoever, except that when I went riding with one of the drivers, Shane, back about a year ago, I didn't have a clue. He showed me so many things, but he was helping me to understand. He was giving me clarity. And we need that. We need that on the subjects that we're focusing in on, to be made clear. We just need to have it explained to us, broken down. Better way to understand it. We need to make it simplified for us. Make it easy where I can understand it. Well, let's say you're working on a project. You got this big project you're working on at the house, and you don't understand it. Like maybe you bought a grill, or you're putting a bicycle together, or you're working on something for Sunday school class, and you just don't understand it. And you're looking for some clarity. You're looking for some understanding with this thing. Well, what do you do? What do? You call somebody that knows how to do it. That's what I do. When I don't understand something, I call somebody that knows how to do it. That's what you have to do. They give you the directions on how to do it, and you're able to complete the project. So, but like in areas like that we struggle with in life, areas that we struggle with in life on this earth, and one of the ones that I want to pinpoint just for a second is this: survival. How do I understand that? How do I clarify that for me? How do I go through life and survive? Like paying your bills. I mean, how many of you right now are struggling in debt or got something that is hanging over your head? You got a car note or a house note. It's just there and you're trying to figure, how do I survive? Or maybe you got a family problem going on right now. So you got somebody that's sick and you're going, how do I survive this? Or a car or at the house. You got a busted pipe and you're going, how do I survive this? How do I do this? How do I get past this point? Well, the scriptures are there's a piece of scripture that helps us with that. It comes from Proverbs 2:2. The Bible helps us to seek clarity. It gives us an understanding how to survive in this crazy world that we live in. In Proverbs 2:2, it says this: tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. And let me explain that to you. When you tune your ears, it's kind of like a deer. If you've ever seen a deer in the woods, like if you've gone deer hunting, he's turning his ears left and right, just trying to pick up sounds. He's trying to find the good sounds and the bad sounds is what he's trying to do. Because there's sounds out there that want to hurt him, want to kill him, want to make him lunch. You know what I mean? But there are other sounds out there. There's sounds like acorns falling from a tree. And he hears those and he gets his ears adjusted. And as he's walking through the woods, he's steadily just listening to everything around him. And he's able to tell what's good and what's bad. And that's how he survives. That's how he survives in the wilderness. And so that's what we have to do. We have to tune our ears to listen to what God's trying to tell us, to try to figure out what the world's trying to tell us and what God's trying to tell us, and figure out what's good and what's bad. So that brings us to the second part of that scripture, to that part where it says, tune your ears to wisdom. So we understand the tuning part, okay? We understand the tuning part to wisdom. The wisdom God has for who? Us. Us. It's hard sometimes to know what is good and what's bad. But when we start tuning our ears to God's wisdom, He helps us to do that. And once you get to that point where you've tuned your ears to His wisdom, you're ready for the part number 2. And the scripture tells us to concentrate. Concentrate. Seeking God's understanding as we concentrate, as we tune our ears to His wisdom. And then once we find that where He's at, we concentrate, we focus in. Because we're looking what? For understanding and clarity. And then once we focus in, He starts making things clear for us. He starts making things clear for us because we're concentrating on what? His understanding. And that understanding of what? God's wisdom. God's wisdom in your life. That's what we're trying to do. So when we go through this crazy life of ours and we're trying to figure out how to survive, and we don't have we're trying to figure out the game plan. And we're trying to figure out how do we understand this and how do we get clarity. One good place to start is in Proverbs 2:2. So let me give you your main point for today. Your main point. And if you don't walk away with anything else, I hope you walk away with this. The world will hate you, rate you, shake you, and break you. But how you understand God's wisdom in your life is what makes you strong. That's where you get your strength from. That's where you get your clarity from and your understanding. Guys, you be safe out there. Know that I'm praying for you, and Godspeed.